Hello everyone and welcome back to CodeChef. If you already know how to filter rows using where clause, today we are taking SQL to the next level. In this video, you will learn how to calculate total value using sum function, find average values using the AVG function, group data using group by, and filter grouped results using having. These concepts are extremely important for data analysis, report placement, competitive exam on CodeChef, so make sure you watch till the end and practice along. What are aggregate functions? Aggregate functions work on multiple rows, perform mathematical or statistical calculations, ignore null values except counts with star, and always return one row per group. They help convert raw data into meaningful insights. Common aggregate functions. So here we have a list of common aggregate functions which are sum, average, count, min, max. We have already discussed count function, min function and max function in our previous videos, and today we will discuss sum function which will give sum or total value and average which will give mean value. Let's start with the sum function. Sum adds all non-null numeric values of a column. It is mainly used when calculating total revenue, total marks, total salary, total quantity sold, and so on. So whenever we need a total or sum of something, then we use the sum function. Its syntax is select sum, then inside bracket we will write the column name for which we need the sum of values, then from, table name, and semicolon. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform and see an example of a query which uses the sum function. So here we have an example. Select sum, then in bracket sale, from customer, semicolon. So here select is the select command, sum is the sum function, then sale. It is the column name for which we need the sum of all the values. From, and then table. Table name is customer, and semicolon. Now let's see what's the task for us. Write a query to find the sum of the payout from the table employee. Rename the column header as total payout. And this is the expected output, total payout, and then the sum should be 155.339. Having a look at the query, select, then sum. Now inside sum function, we have inserted the name of the column for which we need the sum. So payout, then we want to put the heading total employee. Then we want to put the header total payout for the sum. So we will write as keyword and then in single inverted comma total payout, from, and then table name, that is employee, semicolon. Let us run the query. Total payout and then 155.339. Next is average function. We write it as AVG and then brackets. It calculates the arithmetic mean of a numeric column. So we will see what is the formula to find the arithmetic mean. It is used to ignore null values. It returns a decimal value and it can be rounded using the round method. We have discussed the round method in our previous videos. Now here we have the formula to find average or arithmetic mean. So average is equal to sum, that means the sum total of all the values in the column upon count, that means non-null values, that means total number of values that we are going to add to find the sum. Its syntax is select, then AVG. Now inside bracket we will write the column name for which we need the arithmetic mean, then from and table name, semicolon. Now let us see an example of average function on the CodeChef platform. Here is an example. Select AVG in bracket age from customer, semicolon. So select is the select command, then AVG is the average function. Age, it is the name of the column for which we want the arithmetic mean, then from and customer, this is the table name, and semicolon. Now let's have a look at the task. Write a query to find the average of the column payout from the table employee. Rename the column header as AVG payout, and this is the expected output. Here is the header and here is the average value. Coming to the query, select then AVG function. Inside that we have put the name of the column whose average we want to find out. Then as, and since we want the header to be AVG underscore payout, so in single inverted commas we have written this name. Then from, and table name is employee, semicolon. Now let's run the program. Okay, AVG payout and then 15.5339. Next is group by. Without group by, aggregate functions work on the entire table, but real-world questions require category-wise analysis. For example, total sales per customer, average sales per department, number of orders per city. So group by divides rows into logical groups and then applies aggregate functions to each group. Its syntax is select then column name, then comma aggregate function, and inside bracket we will write the name of the column whose aggregate we want to find, then from table name, and then group by and column name, semicolon. How group by works internally. So SQL scans all rows, group rows with the same value, applies aggregate function to each group and returns one row per group. So this is the step-by-step implementation of group by concept. Now let us discuss an example using the group by command on the CodeChef platform. Select divisions, comma, then which aggregate function did we select here? Average. Now find the average for column age, then from student, which is the table name, then group by and divisions. So we have to do grouping based on the divisions column and semicolon. Now let us see what is the task for us. Write a query to find the average of the column payout across department from the table employee. The output should have the average payout of each department. Rename the column header as AVG underscore payout coded into the IDE, and this is the expected output. So it will have department and average payout. Now coming to the query, select department, comma, then aggregate method is average here, and then payout in bracket because we need to find out the average for payout column. As, then in single inverted comma we are writing the header name AVG underscore payout, from table name, that is employee, and then group by department, semicolon. Now let us run this query. Department, so list of department is HR, operations, product and sales, and average payout for each department is given here. This is how we use group by in SQL. Having clause. In SQL, there are two very different stages of data. First is raw data, which is in form of rows, and it is the data that we have before grouping. Second is aggregated data or groups, which we get after grouping the data. The where clause works only on raw data, but once we apply group by, rows are merged into groups and where can no longer see individual values. So this is exactly why having exists. Having is used to filter the results of group by. The syntax for this query is select then column name, comma, whichever aggregate function we want to use, that function, and inside bracket we will write the column name on which we want to implement that aggregate function. Then from table name, group by, column name, and then having. Now after having, we will write the condition that we want to apply on the aggregate function which we are using, and semicolon. So here we have execution order of commands, like we will first use from, then where clause, then group by, then having, then select, and then order by. Now if you see here, where is used to filter rows, group by is used to create groups, and having is used to filter those groups by imposing some conditions. Now let us have a look at an example of having clause on the CodeChef platform. Select division, comma, average, then inside bracket age, comma, count, star, in bracket, from student, group by division, then having count star in bracket greater than 50 semicolon. So here select clause, then division is the column name that we want to display in the output, then average of the column age will be found count star. Star means the count for the complete column will be calculated. Then from student. So student is the table name here. Then group by clause and group by division. So division is another column name on the basis of which we will do the grouping. Then having clause, and what is the condition that we are putting? That the count for all the values should be greater than 50 and semicolon. Now let us see an example of a task to understand this better. Write a query to find out the average of column payout across department which has more than 3 employees from the table employee. The output should have the name of the department and their respective average pay. Rename the column header for the second column as average payout. Code it out on the IDE. So we have to display 2 columns here. First is department, and for department we are putting the condition that only the data for those departments will be visible which have more than 3 employees in the table. And in the second column we will show the average payout for each department, and its header has to be set to AVG underscore payout. Coming to the query, select department. So department column will be visible in the output, comma, average of payout has to be calculated and its header should be AVG underscore payout. So we will write as keyword, then AVG underscore payout in single inverted comma, from table name is employee, then group by department, and the condition is having count star greater than 3. That means data will be visible for only those departments that have more than 3 employees. Now let us run the query. Okay, so here we have the output which is exactly similar to the expected output. And with that, you have now mastered sum, average, group by and having in SQL. These are not just SQL functions, but they are the backbone of data analysis, reporting systems, interviews and placement questions. If you can confidently write queries using group by and having, you are already ahead of many beginners. But remember, SQL is a skill that you build by practice, not just by watching. So, head over to CodeChef platform, solve problems related to aggregation and grouping, and challenge yourself with different data sets. Thank you so much for watching.